Hello. Sorry about that. For some reason the audio has disappeared, the actual sound has disappeared. But welcome. I haven't streamed on here for a while, so first of all, quick apology for those who have been waiting for more streams from me. Lots happened. Mainly, just been trying to reorganise my place so that it can be more streamer friendly, and trying to work out what was causing all the problems with the PC. But it does appear that once again, when I start the sound, I don't know why, but every time I seem to stream, it seems to stop the sound going, even though I know it's there. But that could. So that could. I think I just found out what's up with the sound. So hopefully, you're hearing something. Music-wise, I'm talking about. Okay. Why is this not making any? Sorry, 1 second. I tell you, these stream softwares can be quite temperamental at times. It's really crazy. But anyway, welcome. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy today's stream, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't be as sluggish as it's been in the last couple of weeks as well. So a lot's been happening. Just been trying to reorganise my place, my flat, and everything else. What I'm trying to do is trying to set things up so I've got a stream section and a relaxation section, plus enough space for when I do VR stuff, because I really want to do more VR streams, both gaming streams and more importantly some art streams as well. There's a couple of programs I've got and I haven't really spent a lot of time on them, which I'd love to do. There's also another program called Dreams that I really want to sort of dabble with as well, but obviously I need that space in order to do all these different programs. So that's basically where I've been going with that. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Hopefully, as I said, things will go well and there won't be no lag on the stream. But in case you aren't aware, this particular character was one I did a few weeks ago where I was doing some drawing on it, and it's based on a character called a Force Hunter. It's loosely based off of Star Wars, so it's Star Wars inspired. And what it was, there was a competition, not a competition, but there was a channel that had requested people to think of a character that you'd like to play if you was playing a character in the Star Wars saga, and I chose this guy, Force Hunter, who has certain attributes that helps him to basically find force powered people, and he would sell them for money. So basically he was basically a bounty hunter but for Jedi powers, and that was sort of where it was at. And this is the second one from the set that I've done, a 6. And I've been sort of working on this recently, and I just thought I'd try and come up and just do a bit more work on it. I haven't got very far, purely because of technology and stuff not being my friend right lately. But I'm going to try and spend a few minutes, at least the next hour, going through this. So without further ado, let's get going. Oh, if you're new to the channel, by the way, and you want to see more of this sort of stuff, just click on the subscribe so you're always kept in the loop. And if you hit the little notification bell, you'll actually be always reminded when I'm actually live or when a video is now released. And I tend to try to release a video every 2 weeks at the moment. Long term, I want to try and make that every week, but at the moment, that's all I can manage is every fortnight. And if you do like the video, why not give it a thumbs up later on as well. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedbacks of how I can make these videos better. I'm trying to make them as entertaining as I can, but it's still working. Still work in progress. But anyway, let's get going. So, right, let's get back to my Photoshop. In fact, there's one other thing I need to do quickly. Because what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm capturing everything. Because if there is lag, at least the desktop hopefully will record everything. So we'll see how it goes. Right, anyway, let's get to our Photoshop. So here we are, put my old glove on. Well, that's the point, is the power in my thingy bob? Hopefully it is. Probably not. Nope, it's not. Didn't think so. Right, got to just get one more thing. One moment. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. Right, one moment, guys. Just when you think you're always ready. Oh, great. Why is that not working? Okay, right. So it was not working as clearly as I'd like to, so bear with me a second. Um, mm, mm, mm. Right. Sorry about this. There we go. Right, thought I was all ready, but I wasn't. Okay, so let's see where we were at. Get rid of that. Right. So last week, the last time I was here, I was doing all the shoulders and stuff like that. So let's do the gun, I think. Get that gun bit done. So let's go there. Okay. Gun. It's going to be a very relaxed stream today. So I've got someone coming at roughly 7 o'clock. So I don't have a lot of time. So I'm going to try and do as much as I can on this one. And hopefully, so there will be no lag. So, and I need my outline, which is my guide. There we go. Right. Why is the brush being difficult? Okay. Oh, that's not cool. I'm getting the crosshair brush for some reason. Right. Sorry about this. I don't know what is going on here. There we go. Right. See the brush now. Just couldn't see the brush colour. Okay. Oops. Right. Okay, here we go. Now what I'm doing here is I'm doing the whole band, because if I get one side done, I can repeat it a few times, so it does help to do it bit by bit. Let's just hide some of these other bits so it's easier to get up to that part. There we go. In fact, let me change to a harder brush. 100. There we go. To the other side. There's one thing I really want to learn with this stove, though, is to do this a lot faster than I have been, because when it comes to physically drawing, I can really rush through it and, you know, get it done. For the digital, I don't know if it's me just being what's the word? Being too perfectionist. I tend to spend a lot more on the painting side than on the actual physical drawing. And I really want to learn to do this part a lot faster. And I say a big part of it might be I just need to stop stressing too much on every little bit. See, like even here, it feels like I need to go outside the circle a bit more. Actually, no, I'm alright actually. This is the outer part, isn't it? By all means, do feel free to chat and say something, but if I don't respond straight away, I do apologise. I'm still trying to get the setup just right so that I can actually see chat and everything else. So we'll try and keep an eye on chat where I can. If I don't see a chat, please don't think I'm ignoring you on purpose. Right. Okay, so that's the outer part. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put a little nice soft mask on it. Wish you could hear the music, guys. I really do wish you could hear it. I don't know why I can't get the music there, because it's in my ear. In fact, I might just pause it. Might even just pause music. There's no point if you can't hear it. It's for your benefit more than mine. Okay, right. What was I doing? Okay, so we're here. Okay, so select the mask. Red one. Actually, I'm just going to check to see if it is playing ball now, because it might just been temporarily glitchy. There. No, it's not. For some reason, it's not playing the sound. I don't know why. Because I was checking it. I checked it before starting the stream, and the sound was there. As soon as I press start stream, it just disappears. It's so annoying. Anyway, let's not worry about it too much. Okay, so we've got the mask. So let's pop the mask in, and let's carry on. Okay, so need to change the brush to a blender. Let's bring that over here so I've got it easily to hand, and there we go, right. So I'm going to change the brush to the blender, In case anyone is wondering, I'm using the Jazzers brushes. I don't use all of the ones on there, just the ones that I think work. And I personally find the blender brush is really good for this sort of thing, because I know he uses it to sort of blend the different colours in together, but I find it's really good for just generally painting, because for me it doesn't things too thick straight away. It gives each piece a bit of time to work together, and then I just use the blur tool to off. Now I do want to learn to long term try to blend it without having to use the blur tool, but I know it's going to take a lot more practice to get that right, and I will get there eventually, but it's just at the moment. Whoop, oh, that was silly. That was silly me. I just realised what I've done. Forgot to change the layer. Always add a new layer when you're doing the next bit up. But I know it just takes that. Oop. So I just trying to. That's it. Go as far back so that I've got nothing on the layer there. But yeah, it's going to take a lot more practice just to get that level. But it's not. You know, it will happen. Actually, I'm going to change the shading slightly. I'm going to have it from the bottom. And also, it's a different effect as well. Doing it the other way, it gives it more of a painterly feel. I like my images to look quite sharp and straight, and that's just personal preference, really. I will eventually have to get a little monitor somewhere nearby so I can look at these things very close up, but like one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Okay, so now if I blur, should we blur right? That's 50's too 500 is too much, so let's go 50. Go 20. 10. Okay. Okay. That works nicely. Let's get another level because I want to give this kind of a metal-y feel. So again, we'll choose the original colour, slightly darker. This is one of my favourite textures, making really big into making things like metallic and things like that. I really love that feel. Okay, so let's get that blur again. But I'm going to go 5 this time, or 8. Let's try 8. 7? Yeah, 7's good. Okay. Okay, so now I've done that one. What I need to do, that's the outer part. So let's do the inner section. So rotate. And pick a solid brush this time. %% flow. Oops. Need a new group. Inner rim. And there we go. And choose the colour, the straight grey colour again. Let's get this nice and thick. There we go. Right, one thing I need to do is put it underneath. So let's shift that there. There we go. because what that does is it saves me how, well, I say it saves me, but it means that it's in the right place. I can actually put it in the right spot. Rotate this. Now let's just smoothen this out a bit. Now I will need to fix this little there where there's a gap, but I'll do that. I can do that later on. Figure that out and do it later. Okay, so that top bit just needs just a smidge of erasing, so it's all looks like it's wrapping around his arm quite nicely. Cool. Right, there we go. Okay, so as with before, give it the wand, select a mask. I've all with mine. I've preset my feathering to smoothing 4 and feather 0.6 with the contrast 0.1. That's what I just find a good level for me. But obviously you can do it as you know exactly how you feel. But that's personally what I prefer to do. Okay, so let's go back to my blender brush, colour, and slightly darker, and we'll do the same thing here. Now I'm going to do it slightly different angle, because it's a different it's coming from a different angle. There's going to be more light shining on it as well. I have to be a bit more sparing in terms of how I shade it, so that it doesn't feel weird and off. At least that's the intention anyway. Whether it'll work, I don't know. You be the judge. Went to go and see the Spider-Man movie, the Far From Home. I know some people haven't liked it as much, but I personally liked it. I preferred it to Homecoming. Homecoming didn't really grab me all that much, but this one definitely fitted. This one definitely suited my taste that little bit more. So it was a much more funner film. But what was also good as well, which I will be making a video of it soon, as soon as I've got my house sorted. There was also an event down by my local area, which was quite cool as well. So I've managed to pick a few little goodies and such, so which is quite nice. It's quite nice, really. Quite nice. Got some little goodies. So that'll be fun. That'll be a fun video to come through. Right, the one thing I have forgotten is to add the highlights. So I'm going to just add that now. And this is where the metal part really starts to take shape. So it's really, if you're doing metal, it's always important to make sure that you have really good strong contrast. It depends on how shiny you want it. Obviously you can have it rusted and you've got to add a bit of difference, but I definitely find it's super important to get the white in there, and you don't want to blur it as much, so the blur level is a lot lower. As you can see there, it's got a nice big shine on it. Okay, so that's that one. So let's merge those. Let's go back to the other one. New, oops, undo. New layer. Pick that middle colour there. Oh no, I don't want to. Why have I got red? Why has it gone reddish? Okay. For some reason I got a reddish colour there. I don't know why that is. There we go. I have no idea why it had a bit of reddish colour there, but there you go. I do like adding metal textures to stuff. Where I do struggle though is when it's not metal, it's how much light and shade do I put on it. That's a real challenge. Okay. Cool. Right, so we've got our two little bars now. So I've just realised. Can you see the navigator bar? The navigator screen? I forgot about that. Because what I've tried in the past to do is have it so you can see the navigator screen. Let's see. Bear with me a second. Where are you, navigator screen? Oh. Okay. Window capture. Add existing navigator. Boom. Sorry, 1 second. Shift it down. That's cool. They've changed a few things on this, on the OBS Live. So navigator, navigator, navigator. Where are you hiding? That's that. Where is it? Sorry about this, but what I do try to do is have it so you've got the navigator screen so you can see a close-up of what I'm doing, but because I had a bit of a clear out, I didn't fully set my screen quite the way I wanted it, and I cannot seem to find the navigator screen. Okay, let's try this again. 1 second. If I can't do it, I'll have to do it off screen for next time. Oh, that's a bit disappointing. That is really disappointing. Right, I'm sorry about that, guys. All right, we'll have to leave it for now. But it would have been good for you to see that. But there you go. Never mind. I'll just have to hide it for now. All right. Okay, so let's carry on. Where were we at? So we've got our ring now. So go back here. So what I can now do is take these two, call it gun band. If I zoom out a little bit, I can now copy and then just shrink it a little bit, just so it fits on the arm. Brilliant. Okay, so we got that bit done. So now we need to do this bit in the middle, and I think I'll put that on top. I'm going to call this crossband band. Wish there was a way I could see any chat, but okay. So again, back to my brushes, the hard pressure. here we go. Right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oops, untangle. Oh, I just remembered there's a thing on here where you can actually draw a straight line without having to worry too much. And there it is. Okay. I'm just going to zoom in a bit, much, because I want to get this side as accurate as I can. The other side doesn't matter because that'll get masked out or get erased. In fact, I might as well erase it now actually. Yep. Because that needs to fit right on the edge of the band. There we are. Okie dokie. Right, so another mask. Now I want to contract this a little bit because it feels just a bit. It just feels there's an odd shape on it. So let me get my lasso tool a second. So take that bit off. In fact, actually, and then take those bits off. So there we go. That's that side. And add down here. There we go. It's weird how it picks extra bits on it. Weird that. Okay. And there. Oops. Ah, darn it. That's it. Sorry. Whoops. Alright, I think that's as best as I'm going to get it. Oh! What happened there? Oh, that's what happened there. Hit the straighten button first. Okay. Just taking a look at intended. Right, okay, so now I can do this. We've got a nice solid colour, there we go. Perfect. So I can now make the mask. And then get my blender brush again. And colour. There we go. That's it, right. Now this time it's just on the bottom. and one really dark right on the edge, and then blur a 10. Okay, good. And then the highlights. Oops. Keep hitting the Windows button, sorry about that. That's it. Okay, so let's get these highlights in there. I think I might just make this one round, so it's kind of like a strap just fitting in there. I've just realised something. I think I've done this the wrong way around, haven't I? Oh, donuts. Okay. Easily sorted. He says. This should hopefully do it. There we go. Just means I need to change some things. Oh dear. Whoopsie. Oops. Right. Okay, cool. Not the end of the world, but not ideal. Because I messed it up a bit. Oh no, actually, saying that, it was the right way around. Actually, I think it does work that way, actually. So I'll leave it as it is. Okay, right. So let's see if we can, on the mask. Now I'll make sure mask is default colours. Now when you're doing masks and you're doing the, don't know if you know about masks, you've got the black and the white, and the white makes everything underneath the page visible, and the black makes it invisible. If you think back to those crayon things, I don't know if you had them at school, where you had all these different colours in the background, and you had this big like black cover over the top, and as you scraped into the black, the colours underneath would start to appear. This is how masking works. It works in exactly the same sort of way. So if it's black, it will black it out. If it's white, it'll be visible. And I need to change brush to this one with a full opacity. And need to hide this part. That bit's hidden. And this is where we get a bit fun, because now it should, in theory, blend with the handle. Okay, so we're going to have a bit of additional fun with this. Just to add that, I'm going to add some shadow. So back to my blender, colour. Don't want completely black, I want sort of relatively light black, light grey, and basically just shadow it on the corner here. Let's go a little bit darker. And then the darkest. Okay. And then with a little bit of a blur, I don't know what level we need here. 5 should do. So you've got a little bit of shadow on the arm bit. Okay, and if I go into this bit, here, I can also do the same here, but in a different place. This is just where that bit hits the side of it. It just gives the sense that it's connected. And the darkest of the dark. Yeah, there we go. And use the same level of blur, I think. Cool. Maybe one extra. There we are. So if I zoom out now, got a nice little arm that connects onto the side of the gun. Now, I do feel that I need to put just a bit more shadow on the top of that. So this just feels a bit too light. Just zoom out a touch. Okay. Well, at least it's not lagging for a change. That's good. And just sort of very, very small blur, say like 3, I think. I think that looks good. Alright. So that's the first part of the gun done. Okay. Now what I could do is where it's got the bands, which is this one, I can probably copy one, bring it underneath this one here, and then shift it over. Excuse me. So in the center as well. Okay, let's delete. I think I've done that wrong slightly. Okay. There we go. Because then what I can do is now have 3 on there. I don't need to worry about the bottom bit because I'm going to hide it. Put a mask on this, change to a hard brush and 100%, and then just hide the bottom end. There we go. Now I notice that this one here does look a bit off, so I'm going to just adjust this one slightly. That's it. Okay, so I need to also move that shadow up so that it fits. There we go. Perfect. There we go. So we now got a nice triple section there, which is good. Still need to work out this part here, so let me see if I can figure out where that is. And try and I'm going to work that out, try and figure out why that's not showing. But I'll put it in the shade later on, so it's not a problem. Things like that I'm going to fix later on. Okay. Right, so let's go back to the rest of this gun now. Okay, so come back to here. Get my outline again. So the next bit I want to do is this bit here. So now this will need to be under all of this. Okay, so that's that. Okay. I'll call this gun holster. I don't know what else to call it. So gun holster. Gonna get the colour again, and then just paint it on. Right, it's 5 o'clock now, so I've got another half an hour, and then I'll call it a day on this one. So I normally try and do this for a little bit longer, but oh, why is it not brushing anything? Why am I not seeing nothing? For some reason, not seeing anything. Okay, I'm not quite sure what's happening there. Okay, because I can't seem to see the colour being painted. Oh right, okay, it is being painted, okay. I just couldn't see the colour being painted, so I wasn't sure if it was actually working. I think, just realised it's going all this way, so cool. Alright, so let's hide that line again. Hide that. What I'll do is I'm just going to tidy this up a bit so it looks smooth. Bearing in mind, obviously, because it's a gun, it needs to be fairly, straight. And let's erase some of this as well. Because basically the gun's going to be fitting in there. That's where the gun's going to clip into. Okay. Right, just making adjustments to the original mask on that. Back to the brush again for here. That's it. So I just want to make sure I get this edge really on. That's it. Perfect, there we are. Right. Okay. So let's get the mask on. Now eventually these masks will come off, but it's just while I'm processing, doing this initial part, it's always good to do it just so you got the initial edge on there. But I try to avoid these days. I try to avoid masks as much as I can, because what tends to happen is you can often be really chained to them. Now, painting wise, this is going to be really tricky because this is going to be fairly in your face, so I'm not sure how I'm going to really paint them. I suppose from here, and maybe from here, because it's all going to be visible to you, so it's probably not making much sense, but with a fairly flat surface. Struggling a bit here. I'm gonna leave this plain for now. Gonna leave that plain for now. I need to figure out how I'm gonna colour it. So, but if I do the next bit, I think it'd make more sense of what colours I'm gonna make it. So, because the light's gonna be shining right on that, so I don't wanna, I don't want to spoil anything on that one. Okay, so let's go back here. Gun holder side. Right, just bear with me a second. Bear with me 1 second. Right, okay, I can't see chat, but there's no chat, but that's fine. If people watching, that's fine. If people chat, more the better. Okay, cool. Right. Okay. Alright. Okay. Let's put that there a minute. Okay. So we need another layer. Brush. Oh. I hate that noise. You know when the computer makes those horrible noises telling you you've done something wrong. I really hate that. Now this bit, because it's quite a large area. In fact, actually, I need to put that underneath. I need to put this one underneath. There we go. well, you know, it makes that really loud noise, like bling, say you've done something wrong, or you've pressed the wrong button, but it doesn't always tell you what you've done. I hate that noise. Really, really don't like that noise at all. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is hide the outline a second. There we are. Perfect. Okay, good. Alright. Okay, so I need to change the mask on the main bit again. That's it. Whoops. I'm being silly. Where's it gone? There we are. That's it. Alright. Okay, so that's that. Now let's make a bigger mask for it. Select the mask. Oh, hello. Oh, is that all? Just saying my phone is dying. It's fine. Phone dies, it dies. Okay. No, I don't want to delete it. I want to add it. There we are. That's it. Okay, so back to Blender. And then get the colour. Okay. Colour moved again. Right, see now I know where I'm going with this because it's easier for me to work this one out. One's going to be from there as well. That's it. And then just a touch on the top. Come on. There we go. It's all about, with things like this, it's more about where you put it than anything else. It's than how much you put on it. If you know where to put the shading, you're good to go. Okay, so filter, blur, 10, 5, 3. Oh right, really? Oh, 5. 5 is good. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. And then the highlights, which I mentioned earlier. And this is what really makes this stand out. And again, it's really about where you put it, because you've got to always remember where you've got to always think, where does the light catch what you're drawing, where does it actually hit the item you're trying to paint. And put a lighter filter on this one. 3 is good. Okay. Right. Now, just trying to think. Now, with the other bit that I said before, I didn't quite know where I wanted to put the shading on it. Now that I've got this, I've got a bit more of an idea where it could possibly go, but I just needed that base for reference. To say, because this is going to be a flat edge. Going to be a very flat edge, and I want to make sure it feels like it's a flat edge. So I'm just trying to work out how I'm going to shade this. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to work. This might be wrong. Oh, it does help to go first. See, it doesn't feel right. It really is difficult, this bit, actually. Because I'm half thinking I just leave it as it is, like it's a completely straight edge. Right, let me try something. I don't know, this might be just being silly, but yeah, it's not going to work. Right, I'm going to leave this bit. I need to have a think. I need to have a think how I'm going to do that part, but I'm not sold on it yet. Okay. Right, so the next thing I want to do is this pipe bit here. That's fairly straightforward what that is. It's a big pipe. So add a group. Barrel. We'll call it barrel 1. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Okay, and solid brush this time. Okay, so I'm going to be on for another 15 minutes, and then I'm going to call it. A day, because as I say, I've got someone coming over fairly soon, so I don't really want to be streaming while they're here. Oops. Now this will go over the. Oh, I forgot to make it to a solid colour. Now I know I'll be painting over the top of the barrel, and it'll look like I'm ruining the picture, but I'm actually not, because it will get. At the end of the day, it will get. It will go behind, so it's not a major problem. And it looks like I need to make that visible as well. Okay. Okay, so let's zoom in a bit. Just this barrel to look even. Not to worry too much about the front of the now. Be covered up by, the front end. Okay. So again, the old select and mask. Okay. Mask it. Rotate again. And let's add some shade. So blender. Next bit down. Maybe just zoom out just a touch. There we go. And because it's a round, barrels are usually round, make sure that you do both sides. to is when I'm doing, particularly when I'm doing metal or shading, especially when it's like a round cylinder, I try and go as far to the right or far to the left, depending on where the light's coming from, to try and give it that as a realistic. Oops, that last bit's not looking that good. Okay. Okay, so blur by 5. Oh, that seems very high actually. Try 3. Yeah, that's good. So merge those two together, and then the highlights. And again, this is what makes the metal look metal. And in fact, if I rotate this slightly, bring my brush up here, that's it. Oh, no. That's it. Okay, right, let's see how this is going to look. So blur, 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 blur. I think twice is fine. Now on this one, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go one stage further, and I'm going to actually use the dodge and burn on this one. So I know I haven't done it in the other ones, but on this I think it'd be quite good to have dodge and burn on it. It will just help add to that metal effect. See how it gives it a bit more strength. And if I do the dodge, should do the same thing. Okay, that was a bit too wide. Still feels a bit too strong. That feels more like it. See how that you've got a nice little metal rod-like look on it. Okay, so now I've done this, what I can now do is bring this down. What's the name of this one? Just bring that in between there. Bring it down again. There you go. So now the rod looks like it's inside. Okay, so it's 20 past, so we'll do one little bit more, and then we'll call it a day, which is this funnel bit. We'll just spend more time on it, but as I said, I've got guests coming soon, so I need to get my house ready for people. Okay, barrel, nose, I guess. Okay. Right, so we need a nice solid brush and a nice solid colour, 100. And right, here we go. that's what I thought. I need to just do this quickly. There we go. Now I'll probably have to zoom in a bit on this, so don't want to zoom too far in. Because what ends up happening is you just get all the pixels and you don't really get a good feel of what you're looking at when it's pixelated. So okay, so let's go back to the main mask. Okay. Because what I wanted to do is I want this to look really sharp and unusual. Typical sort of, I don't know what you call the front of the end of those guns, but the knob, whatever it is, I want it to look very different and unusual. Now, here's where, is this going to work? I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I'm going to try it. So this is just a trial and error, and if I do this, that's that. Now let's see if this magic will work. Now I do need to do something very quickly, which is, actually no, it shouldn't matter actually. Maybe just this bit here, but everything else should be fine. So select and mask. Mask. Boom. See what I did there? It's not finished, but I've got the same feel of the gun. So instead of doing multiple copies of the same thing, we've got the gun, that front bit of the gun sort of looking a bit more, it fits with the back end a bit more, and it saves me having to redraw the shading every single time. Now the one thing I will need to do is, if I zoom back in, and this is the last thing I'm going to do today, get my brush back, and that's this. And hopefully you'll see what I'm doing here, or what I'm trying to get at. In fact, I can go one better. Is if I erase that, rotate, brush. It's a neat little trick, this. So now I've basically got the front part of the gun, or the not the front part of the gun. The actually, it's not actually the gun. It's actually the viewfinder. Actually, we've still got the shadow of the other bit, but at least now The viewfinder's got a nice little hole in it. So there you have it. All right, well that's going to be it for now. So really want to carry on with this, and I'm really pleased that the stream has actually been steady for a change. If you do want to see me carry on with this again soon, or one of the other projects I'm doing, just by all means press the subscribe button so you're always made aware when I'm coming live or when I'm doing a video release. And if you like this video, please support it by clicking the old thumbs up. That I really would appreciate it. And if you really want to keep in the know and really want to be notified the minute I go live, there's a little bell notification. Just ring that or tick that, depending on the settings obviously that you have, and you'll always be kept in the loop of these videos. Again, I'm sorry this has been a bit of a short one today. I say normally I try to go for 2 or 3 hours maximum, but today was just really partly to test it, partly to make up for not being on stream before, and also what was the way I was going to say? Also, I really wanted to get this piece finished as soon as possible. It's dragged on a bit, and I want to kind of get it done a bit quicker than it is at the moment. But I want to thank you for joining me. I do hope you've enjoyed this mini stream. But I will be back next week. Hopefully on Saturday I'll be back. And if possible, I'll get the camera back up. I'm still sorting things in the house, so the house isn't quite ready for cameras just yet. But thanks again, and I will speak to you soon. Be seeing you.